Hello, and thank you for joining me in Yes, Even You Can Paint. You can all do this. So today what I have on my palette is just a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow, and then I also have some white and some black. And from this basic palette, we can make all the colors that we need to do our first painting. And today we're just going to focus on the first layer. No need to stress about the empty canvas. We're going to fill it with some paint. So I just want to do a little quick tutorial on how to mix your paint to make the additional two colors that we would need, green and purple, and orange. So to make some orange, we're going to take a teeny little bit of red. That's probably quite a bit. Doesn't take much. And then some yellow. And we're going to mix those two together. We're going to get a nice orange. Get that off there. Now I'm going to take a little bit of red and a little bit of blue. And again, red's a very strong color, so you do not need a lot of red. And we're going to mix a little purple. That maybe needs just a little bit more. And there's a nice purple. All right, I'm just going to wipe off the end of my brush there I don't want to mix colors at the beginning here. I don't mind when I get into it mixing colors so much, and then to make our green, we're going to take a little bit of yellow again and a little bit of blue, and this time the blue's the strong color, so you don't want too much. And you can make a little bit of green. What I like about mixing my own colors is you can always end up with some really unique, cool colors. Okay, and that's all we really need to do to begin. So to begin, we're just going to go to our canvas and we're going to kind of put down paint in any way that feels right to us. I like to add words of intention to my canvas. So, I might write on here things that I'm intending to bring into my life, ways of being that I want to be, things I want to feel. And I don't mind too much when I'm doing this. I don't clean my brush. I am just getting in the paint and getting some paint on here and, just really enjoying expressing myself on the canvas. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Really, it's just whatever comes to mind, whatever feels good. I really like making spirals, these swirlies. I'm a swirly hero. I also like to do sacred symbols sometimes, so this is Om. Get a little of this green I made and come up here in the corner. And ultimately, this layer will not even be seen in the finer layers, but what this does is it gives a nice base for your painting. It's all about layering. As my teacher Whitney Freya says, layering makes us look good. I'm going to mix a little bit more of that green. I really like that green. Go. And you can see that some of my colors are getting what we call a little muddy. And I'll do a separate video where I talk about some more color mixing, go into depth with that a little bit more, and talk about what happens when we mix colors of the opposite side of the color wheel. And we do end up with what's called a more earthy shade or a muddy shade. So sometimes, we get frustrated in our canvases when we put colors together and then they don't ultimately end up being the way we think that they should look, well, it's most likely because we mixed in a little bit of its opposite color, and it gives it a, an earthy tone. It makes it turn a little bit more brown or dusty, dark. I really find when I'm painting, I just become so peaceful in my head when I'm not allowing that left brain side of me to take over and tell me how I might be doing something wrong or how something doesn't look good. The beautiful thing about painting is you can always paint over something you don't like. Just like in life, we can always change anything that's not working in our life for us. We can create again. We can choose again. You choose. I like that. I'm going to put choose. Let's see. I had some black on my brush, so now this is all going to be dark in here, which is just fine. Acrylic dries really fast, so that's one of the nice things about it is, you can lay down a layer of paint, and you just have to wait a little bit. And then you can go back in and you can paint it on it again. It's great. And that is what makes your painting look rich and full of depth. If we had a dime, if I had a dime, geez, I'd be rich, for every time you hear somebody talk about how they have no creativity, no creative bones in their body. If I had a dime for every time I heard somebody say that, I would be rich, because the reality is we all are creative. And we all like to create. We all create daily in our lives. We are creative beings. We are dynamic beings, constantly creating our life, whether we're doing it consciously or not. Get some white in here. Ooh, I like that. It's a little tan. Swirly girl. I like to do swirls. They are soothing to me. I'm going to put a swirl up there. And all right, there's a down and dirty first layer. And the beauty about this process is you can continue to paint on that as much as you want. And it just makes it richer and more interesting. And for joining me today for the first session of 3 in which we will paint a heart. And yes, even you can paint. Have a glorious day.